Hello, welcome back to my number 9.
Dr. White said he didn't know anything about Ray. If that's the case, why is Ray after Dr. So many questions?
It's actually probably a bad thing I forgot to record the before one. So I've played through. I've actually played a lot of Ray. I've gotten to the end. So I'm at the Battle Coliseum, and I just haven't been able to beat the Battle Coliseum with Ray yet.
You are all set?
Ray's actually a really tricky character. But I figured since I did an entire playthrough of my number 9, I might as well do the Ray mission as well. So, the Ray mission starts off pretty simple. It gives you a nice little...
I needed that.
It gives you just enough for number 1. And then you gotta fight her.
I've been watching you. You're a predator as well.
A predator? Professor, a strange robot is...
Beck seems to have encountered something. Professor, how should...
Silence!
Huh? I lost my comlink. But how could...
I am Ray. And you. Who are you?
Okay, so... Trying to look at what setup I have. Seriously? Man, I'm getting sloppy.
It's over.
Oof, that was close. So, throughout this level, you basically are chasing down Ray. There's 2 mini fights with her. Yeah, I've got the right one.
That's more like it. That's more like it. That's more like it.
Although, holy hell, am I gonna keep hitting a damn...
That's more like it. That's more like it. Here. That's more like it. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
Sorry about being a little bit sloppy with Beck. I haven't actually played him in the last couple of days.
Go!
Oh yeah, no, this is a boss fight. I'm good. Ah, shit. Okay, basically, the premise of this fight, you don't get any information, so I didn't really skip over too much. Although, if I do die, I will go over it again.
It's over. It's over. Why?
The fighting style I've picked up. for fighting Ray for the most part basically just involves hitting her with your ice bubbles from Cryo.
That's more like
Oh
it.
shit.
That's
Yeah, hitting her with with Cryo's attack.
here we go. Go. That's more.
Which will then allow, hitting her with Cryo's attack, which then allows me, or which slows her down, does damage over time,
That's more like it.
but as well as damaging her and doing some pretty significant damage over time, it's one of those. I'm trying to think of a good way to say it.
That's more. Oh.
Amazing!
That's more like it. I needed that.
It's one of those attacks that can be done without necessarily feeling like you're going to miss quite so often, because it does bounce.
I will have my answers. From him!
What do you want with the professor?
You know this man.
Of course. The professor created me. I won't let you near him in this state. You're completely out of control.
You will tell me exactly where I can find him. Or I will tear it from your cells.
So as I was saying, because of its bounce, or not because of the bounce, but
All right.
because of its ability to freeze, you can even hit people with it when they're in, similar to her, you can hit her with it while she's in her charging form.
There is no escape. Give up!
Which you can't do with most attacks.
Give up already!
I kind of wish I still had at least one ability point. Yeah.
What a surge! Your cells are intoxicating!
Yep, I screwed that one up.
There is no escape! You!
Respond!
That was a little scary. I thought I was gonna die at that last second.
You live without devouring your prey. How? I'm falling apart. So cold. I must feed.
Mission clear.
Respond. Beck, please respond.
Beck! Beck, are you alright? What on earth is going on over there?
Professor? Everything's okay. I'm fine. I battled against an unidentified robot. A female wearing a red cloak.
A red cloak?
Our database has no robots on file matching that description.
The enemy's gone for now. I'll return to base.
Good work out there, Beck. Let's go over the details once you're back home.
What should we tackle next?
Okay, so since that was a short one, what I'm going to do is actually change over to Ray and kind of show you out the city. City's first mission, very basic, very simple. I can kind of walk you through slowly without doing too much. Or without getting too involved, but also kind of demonstrating a lot.
System ready. Go.
So, this is Ray. As you can see, I'm losing health up at the top. Now, the way this works isn't like standard losing health. This is actually closer to a weakness. As you see, when I take damage, I actually lose all of my weakness. However, no matter how much weakness I have, it won't kill me, because it's not actual health points. So as soon as I kill somebody and absorb their cells, I instantly regrow all of my weakness. This also sadly means that you can't recover health. From killing them, you just kind of recover your weakness. You can just straight up kill people with your... find somebody. You can just straight up kill people with your dash ability. And when your claws just... when your claws mess with somebody, they automatically absorb. This means that you often just combo out the ass with Rachel, because, well, you're automatically absorbing for most of her attacks. Also, it's a little weird. I'm not sure if her name is Rachel or Rachel or Raycel, because you are Ray, and that's what you go by short. But the second half of her name is Cell, like what you absorb. Also, any health packs you pick up will also get rid of both weakness and will regenerate health, and being weak doesn't actually lower the amount of health you recover. Okay, let's go ahead and start talking about abilities. So, this is the helicopter dude. You can see his propeller. What this does is a lock-on system, which then allows you to lock on and charge towards people, so you can tackle in random directions. Next, this is Pyro. Your fist becomes an explosion. After your fist becomes an explosion, you can kind of hold it to turn your charge into an explosion. But it's a nice little thing, and it does some pretty nice damage to bosses. Oh, one thing I did forget. You do have a triple strike combo, which is actually pretty nice. The purple wave is actually pretty nice. It kills most, even more advanced enemies that take a couple of shots. It kills them in one hit for most standard enemies. Next we have Cairo, the ice, which you shoot out the ice bubble. So it's similar to Vex. Will freeze them, and then if they desynchronize while being frozen, it will just keep them in ice, so that you can then pick them up still at 100%. Next, we have counters. The sniper. It makes you become invulnerable to damage. and then it also upgrades your tackle. Yeah, sorry. It upgrades your tackle while you're invisible. I'm not exactly sure, like, the tackle's weird. Next, we have Battalion. It's just a gun. It's a pretty nice gun. It works pretty well on most bosses, but yeah, it's a standard weapon. For Seismic, you gain his Seismic Fists, which can also be used as grappling hooks. Next, you have Brandish, who gives you a sword. Similar to Beck, you can just swing the sword for free. And the charge, which, as you can see, uses up significantly more energy, but the charge is actually powered up by the number of your combo. So the higher your combo, the more damage. And finally, for the electric attack, at first it does stack normally. However, you are also able to whoops, broke my combo. You are also able to hit like the ground, and it will shoot out these little things, which can be very useful for a couple of the puzzles, and just do a ton of damage, actually. Overall, Ray's basic attack is extremely powerful. She's able to get through most enemies with just one swing of her claws, and she can charge through... Sorry, she can get through most enemies with one or two swings of her claws, and she can charge through anybody she can two-shot. And just to kind of demonstrate her in this little boss fight. Especially once you get Brandish. Although Brandish is one of the last bosses I suggest going for. You get in there and you just mess people up.
Mission clear.
All in all, Ray is extremely powerful. Ray's main problem is boss fights. There are a couple of missions that you will have trouble going through the level just because of Ray's playstyle. She's fast and hits hard, but because of that whole weakness between damage, it is completely possible for the most basic enemy to kill you. For example, in the ice level, those little like things that jump out of the ice spout, if your weakness is at full and one of those just touches you, you instantly die. And those things have no damage, basically. Or even if just an obstacle like a wood barrel or an ice block falls on you, it could instantly kill you. That you can really see that in boss fights. The boss fights are brutal. Like with some of them, you can kind of get in, and especially when you're using the power, when you're using the powers, okay, you're able to do some pretty good damage. But if you get hit once on after a taunt, because at about the halfway mark, most enemies will jump out of the fight for a couple of seconds to do a taunt and a special move. If you get hit by that taunt, you're dead. After that taunt, you're probably dead if you haven't picked up a energy tank. And you don't charge up energies like Beck does. So you actually have to earn, or not earn, but you actually have to die and have Upgrade give you the tank number 2 or the red, green, or yellow boosters. As far as Ray goes, just kind of show off, like, yeah, you can see the attack, the tackles, and Ray doesn't get any of the absorbs or recovers, although you can pick them up, like I said. With Pyrogen, light gear, or ignite the gear, you can punch people with explosions, you can hold it to detonate by standby. Cryo, you just shoot out liquid nitrogen and it freezes people. It's a very important attack for most boss fights. Similar to with Vec, you hit them with that and they're gone. The main problem is it takes so long to get to a point where you fight him. Dynatron, Electric Fields. I don't use it that often, although I did use the Cryosphere and the Dinotrons as a combo against Mom. That was like the only time I ever used the Dinotrons was against Mom, and in a couple of those puzzles. Seismic, the arms are pretty good. I'm not exactly sure how to just make them go up in the air like that, but yeah, you can attach to ledges and pick them up. They're actually pretty cool. And really useful in some of the more dangerous levels. Battalion's just a Gatling shot. Destroys rocks, just like his normal one does, so it's really useful, but not as cool as a grenade explosion thingy. With Aviator, you have Hunter's Aim, and it just locks on and lets you tackle towards people. And you can just kind of bash it and just hit somebody multiple times, and it can actually take you out of like damage range for a lot of enemies. Brandish, sword. Normal strike, of course, like Vec, doesn't cost anything. On guard, you hold it down, and then you enter Blood Squall, which the attack power will increase depending on your absorption combo level. And then it also does block attacks like normal. And Counter Shade, Phantom mode into Assassin mode. And that was all. Ray was really fun.
Go ahead and
I haven't even beaten the game with her yet. But she's really fun, really interesting. Kind of like the dynamic in Mega Man X when you can switch between X and 0. Ray is very similar to that. She even has a very similar motif. She has the 0, like her icon is a 0.
Next?
I haven't finished the story, but I think she's probably Mighty Number 0. Like a prototype, Trinity prototype or something like that. But yeah, she's very more melee combat, where X and Vec are more ranged orientated. She's faster, she moves quickly, but it's that kind of risk reward. Like, you move faster, you hit hard, but no, one person touches you, you just explode. Anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and kill this here, and if you like Mighty Number 9, throw in a comment of anything you like, you dislike. With Ray, I do suggest starting at the Capitol building. It is the hardest level
All right.
to
Quit
beat.
your lollygagging. It's up to us to stop those rampaging bots.
It's one of the hardest levels to beat, but getting superpower or getting any of the other powers doesn't help. Versus like all the other ones, getting even just one power will just infinitely help you, because Counter-Strike's ability, for example, just dodge damage for a couple of seconds. That's so important for a lot of these levels. And you just move in on the normal, the standards. You go from Counter-Strike to AV, all the way to back to Pyro to Cairo, Battalion, Seismic, Dynamo, or no, sorry, Seismic into, trying to remember their names, it's not working very well. Sword Dick into Dynamo. And then at that point, you move on to the Robotics Factory to fight Mom. Anyway, like I said, I'm going to go ahead and end this here, and have fun. Drop any comments if you feel like it, And let me know what you think. Do you think Ray's a good character? Do you think my number 9's a good game? Throw in some opinions.